On today's warehouse safety tips, we're going to be talking about engagement, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast.
On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, just like the teaser mentioned, we're going to be talking about engagement. Now, engagement can come in the form of our social media posts that we put out, the likes, the follows, the shares, and everything that has to do with that, or the good and the bad that we see in safety out there. Now, if it's in the case of good stuff, we may very well be getting in touch with you, okay? So we'd like to interview you. We'd like to showcase you. We'd like to talk about the tips and tricks and nuggets of safety that you have found that provide that whole CANI attitude, a constant and never-ending improvement in your location, your facility. So that's one of the things that we're going to be doing. The second thing is we're going to be going through and trying to find real-world examples of things that we just want to showcase, show you, and just let you know and see things that are affecting safety. I was talking to one of our clients and he was talking to me about a gentleman that I do some video work with. He said he's so comfortable and it's so nice to see him talking as opposed to just hearing him. So that's exactly what we're going to try to do, is bring you much more video rather than just audio with the warehouse safety tips. So one of the very first things I want to showcase is going to be a video that was out there on the internet, and it showed a couple gentlemen going underneath a huge piece of equipment, and just how many things were just so horribly wrong with that situation. It's one of those things that if you're out there and you're doing something where you say, you know what, we've done this 1,000 times and it was only this time that something went bad, that's probably a really good indication of something that you're really not supposed to be doing. You don't want to do the things that go against safety, even if it's that one time that you were doing it that something happened, because it's in that time that just horrible things can happen. So that's the very first thing, is just make sure that you recognize safety at all times, no matter what. The second thing is going to be a situation that we had with some AGV magnetic stripping. That's an automated guided vehicle. If you've ever seen a robot in a warehouse or a facility, or maybe you drive a lift truck through racking systems, and you know that when you get in, the AGV strips many times will take over the vehicle's guiding systems to where there's no possible way for you to bump into the racking. It's just a way to have vehicles either be guided by themselves or, like I said, have the navigation taken over temporarily. If you have a situation like that and you're trying to protect those strips, some customers will put tape over them. Now, we have a client that had some tape that was going over, and they were noticing splitting on the tape. But it was because the vehicles were being driven over what should have been, instead of a wide piece of tape that they were using, they should have been using a more narrow piece to protect that AGV strip. So it's just an example such as that we want to recognize and bring to the forefront so that people know, oh, okay, that's something that we could do to make our job easier. Okay, so it's going to be anything that is, like I said, a tip, a trick, a nugget, anything whatsoever that is going to help you make safety easier in your location. So I hope that you enjoyed this new format of warehouse safety tips. We're going to do our level best to bring you a video version of warehouse safety tips, keep you engaged, keep them short, and just try to bring the best safety to you as possible.
Before moving on, here's a word from one of our sponsors. If you've ever been to or worked in a warehouse, you know just how important safety is to both management and staff. It's almost impossible to go 10 steps without seeing safety tape, angles, signs, and/or safety products. It's these items that show us how to be safe and avoid danger in the workplace. And if you're looking for the best products to make this happen, look no further than Mighty Line. Mighty Line floor signs and floor markings offer the best industrial products out there. We're proud to have Mighty Line as the official floor sign and floor marking company for the Warehouse Safety Tips podcast and site. Go to mightylinetape.com/safety tips to request a sample pack of their incredible safety signs and floor markings. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Warehouse Safety Tips. If you visit warehousesafetytips.com, you'll find the show notes for this episode and access to all of our blog posts, previous podcasts, advertiser information, and much more. Thank you for listening to Warehouse Safety Tips and have a safe day.